Hello, my name is Dragoncraft, and today we're back at it with Pokemon Eleftheria! Oh boy. So, you probably saw my post, and you've seen that I have a new type for Eleftheria. I have the player characters finished, I have an idea for the gimmick, and I am changing up the gyms and how they work because of how I would like this region to be working. So, without further ado, let's first get to the player characters. These would be the guys that you would be playing if this were an actual game. And for Eleftheria, my region, Pokemon Freedom, I decided to do something a little different. Instead of having the base two genders, male and female, I have male, female, and non-binary. So, without further ado, I would like you to meet Al, El, and Lex. 3 players for the Eleftheria region. Now, all 3 of them are color-coded to match their technical canon starters. You can choose whichever starter you want, as Pokemon Freedom is just one game, but story is going to have canon Pokemon for each of the 3. Having said that, the story will be changed based on which gender you choose, as each 3 genders will have a different perspective, and I imagine that this game would actually be able to be played in multiplayer with 2 other friends, and you would be able to get the full story through that, as the story is, in fact, split up between the 3 genders. Now, moving on from those people, let's talk about that new type I was talking about. Now, technically, it isn't a new type. I am just taking a type that came out recently that I hate with a burning passion. I don't want to get into it too much. I just find it stupid and a big waste of a type when the community, the Pokemon community, has been wanting a new type for ages. And which type am I talking about? Why, the Stellar type, of course. I'm gonna be completely honest. I mostly don't like it because it's purely just for terrestrialization, and I get that they have added stuff and then it just never comes back up in other Pokemon games, and maybe terrestrialization will be popping back up in Pokemon games. It's a really fun and interesting gimmick. I just don't like the Stellar type because I feel that it has been wasted when the people of Pokemon have been asking for a new type for ages. So, how am I going to change this? Well, I'm making it the Light type, but not light as in the embodiment of good, because that's kind of what the Fairy type is. Instead, I'm going to make it about the scientific version of light. The particle, I'm also going to be basing it off of color and festivities, parties, stuff like that. It's going to be the festive type. It's still going to be called Stellar, but it is now more party, color, and light centered. Any Pokemon that is based around light or has light abilities, any Pokemon based around color, any Pokemon based around festivals that either has a type that doesn't, I guess, fit it very well, or a type that could be swapped out for the Stellar type. It is now either a Stellar type or part Stellar type. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I would like to talk about the gyms, because I am changing them. Due to the fact that I would like to have a gym in every state, all 49 of the main landlocked gyms, because that is what the Eleftheria region is based around, the main 49, there are not 49 types. There are 13 types, but there are not 49. So instead, each gym is basically going to be like a recap of the region. As I have already said in my first video with the starters, I'm going to be making 10 Pokemon lines, not individual Pokemon, Pokemon lines, so one from 1 to 3 Pokemon per state. This is going to end up in a lot of Pokemon. So pretty much each state is going to have a quick recap, and then its ace is going to be the state Pokemon. And since to challenge the next gym, you need to defeat both the gym and one of the state Pokemon, then that kind of gives 2 birds with 1 stone. And having said that, the first gym you go to, Kansas, instead of having it be like the grass gym and you get like the petal badge, you would get the sunflower badge, because Kansas is the sunflower state. And a fun idea I had because of this was instead of the gym leaders being like famous people, they're the politicians that represent that state in the real world, which was a really fun idea. So because of the whole like no more types, I also have the idea that you're not just able to skip a gym and then go to the next gym. You are able to freely move around the Eleftheria region as long as you are on the routes that are pathed for you. And if you have seen the map, they're fucking everywhere. But if you want to challenge the gyms, there is a certain way that you need to go about it. For example, you would need to challenge the Missouri gym. You would need to first defeat the Kansas gym and have captured or have defeated a Kansas State Pokemon, which is a single stage Pokemon that is like the guardian, protector, first Pokemon of that state found type of Pokemon. And because a certain state Pokemon is the ace of the state gym, that would be fairly easy. You're able to knock 2 birds out with 1 stone by just going to the Kansas City gym and defeating it because of its ace. Alright, I've said my piece about the gym. I have talked about the new type and why I don't like the stellar type, and I have introduced the 3 main characters of Pokemon Freedom. It is time for the moments that you guys have all been waiting for, at least I hope. The gimmick. The gimmick of Eleftheria is one that I have been popping in, popping out, throwing ideas at the wall, trying to figure out what I want to do with it, and in the end, I have 2 options for you guys, and I will put up a poll to like find out what you guys want. The 2 possible gimmicks for the Eleftheria region are either mixing pot or mechanization. What are those 2? Okay, so let's begin. Mixing pot is a fairly simple, I guess, idea. It stems from the idea that America is a mixing pot of different cultures and languages and people, and pretty much the idea is that you mix, in a double battle, you would mix 2 Pokemon together using the mixing pot. This is a very fun idea, and Pokemon Fusion has been not only a stickler for me, but for the community as well. I know that there is a fan game based almost solely around the Pokemon Fusion, and it's really cool. The main, shtick of it would be that it makes a Pokemon have either 3 or 4 types. If you have the fire poison fire starter Smokest and the water steel Leonardile, and you use the mixing pot, you would get a Pokemon Fusion that's fire, poison, water, steel type, and would have all the resistances and strengths of the 4 types, but none of the weaknesses, which is kind of broken, but kind of cool. And the Pokemon could look extremely cool and have like an entirely new name, or you guys could decide to go with mechanization. which is instead based around the industrialization and the technology of the modern world, especially in America, where it would be like Dynamax, where it would be based around you would need to put them in a specific Pokeball, but upon putting them in that Pokeball, on your turn, you can activate mechanization, and it will turn your Pokemon into a mech for you to ride. This could have many uses outside of battle, so it could help you with exploration. For example, the grass starter with its whole drill and excavator motifs. It could help you drill into the ground to get past mountains. It could help you move boulders. The fire starter could help you lumber around in lava. It could help you get through forest fires. The water starter could help you swim around, pick up trash, blah, 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 whatever. But its main shtick is that it turns your Pokemon into a mech and would turn the fighting from a turn-based game to more of, I don't want to say Souls-like, but it would it wouldn't be turn-based anymore, and you would be able to like box your enemies as long as they're like mechanized. You wouldn't be able to use mechanization during like wild Pokemon battles because they can't naturally mechanize. But during trainer battles and gym battles, which I bet there would be a lot of those, you would be able to mechanize your Pokemon. I'll leave it up to you. You guys can decide. I'll pull up a poll. That's all I honestly had to talk about for today. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you guys go. If I have any new videos, check them out. Go ahead and hit subscribe, like, all that good jazz. I'll put up the poll. You guys can tell me what you guys want the gimmick for Leftheria to be. So, have a good day.